shall we transition now? We had a great track meet on Monday, the Gyulai. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation, but that's still easier than the name of the city that it's in Hungary, near Budapest. Let's just call it that. The Hungary meet. We'll call it the Hungary meet. That was on Monday. This meet always gets terrific fields, and this year's edition was no exception. They had Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce runs 10.67 to win the 100. Arian Knighton gets his first European victory, 19.88. There were meet records galore in this thing. And the most interesting thing to me was Sydney McLaughlin, because she was announced 2 days after the World Championships finished. They say Sydney McLaughlin is running Monaco Diamond League. This is her first Diamond League since 2019. I'm like, okay, this is great. Cool. It's about time she ran a Diamond League. And then it comes out just about 10 days later, oh, she's not running Monaco anymore. She's running this Hungary meet. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. Like, what changed? Did Hungary just come in and offer her some ridiculous amount of money? Like, it's just kind of strange. Look, I'm still glad she went over and competed. But is it as good for this? And like, do I view it as a huge issue? Not exactly. Either way, she was going to just blast whoever she was racing against. She ran 51.68. She came out and crushed everyone as we expected. And that's what she would have done in the field against Monaco. But you're going to get more attention in Monaco. And what I'd really like to see, I don't know. I mean, I feel like on one side, when she competes at these championships, she always brings it. She's peaked perfectly. She delivers fantastic performances, world records. It's amazing to watch. But that's basically all you're getting from her, because she really doesn't run any big meets outside of the global championships. And Rojo, I can smell a rant coming on from you.
Yes, she could do more. She could run both. Look, she's an amazing athlete, but I think she owes more to the sport than just running the championships. Going to Europe to pick up some payday. Why can't you go to Monaco too? People, you're asking her to run for free. She deserves a huge appearance fee. I don't know. If I was her, I would have run. I'd run Monaco, go on a 2-week honeymoon with my husband, maybe work out twice a week, and then do some version of stock. What do we have left? Zurich, Brussels, and something else.
Lausanne. Yeah.
Lausanne. Like, wouldn't that sound like fun? Get paid, hang out in Europe. Even if she runs 52 seconds, she's still going to win these races. Who cares? Like, we owe it more to the sport. I read a fascinating critique of the LIV golf tour yesterday. And like, I say this at Let's Run. I've started to realize that we're the voice of the people. I'll make a t-shirt that'll make fun of a pro sometimes. Like, the voice of the fans. There's no one standing up for the fans anymore. Like, and it was talking about the LIV tour. It's like, look, we'll try to link to this article in the show notes, but it was like, he said, Greg Norman's talking about how this is, the players get to compete when they want to compete, and they make an unprecedented amount of money. And what's left out of that phrase is any concept of what the fans are getting out of it. Nothing. Like, the LIV tour doesn't help the fans. It just makes the golfers richer. Like, we need to have the fans be rewarded. Like, I think, is Mondo competing every weekend boring and winning the pole vault? No. The fans love it. He goes across Europe. They get to see Mondo. They all clap. They have fun. He gets paid. Sport's better off for it. So, you didn't want to criticize her in the Monaco preview. You were so tipping on, oh, Sydney. She does bring it. But I just feel like the next step for her is to enjoy competing, not view it as so stressful, and give back to the fans a little bit.
Well, yeah, this is why I wanted to be a little careful, because this is a woman, she's had all this attention on her since she was 16. She's handled it really well for the most part. She's always so poised in interviews. She delivers on the biggest stage time and time again. And then was saying, hey, you just turned 23 and you need to be doing more, and you need to be doing more. And people have been asking her to do more like her whole career. And I don't know, it's a lot of stress. It can be a lot of attention. She doesn't like being on social media. She kind of just basically has to do it for her job. But if she wasn't paid all this enormous amount of money by New Balance, she probably wouldn't have a social media account, because again, it comes with a lot of negativity on that. And obviously there's a lot of positivity too, but you pay attention to the negativity. So, But yeah, I think she should be on the Diamond League more? Yes, of course. Look at what's happened to the NBA. NBA stars, they don't care about the regular season. And so fans care less about the regular season too. They just care about the playoffs. And that's the same thing. The Diamond League is our regular season. If you want people to if you want people to care and fans to care about the regular season, you need to have the stars showing up. It needs to be, Bolt basically didn't run the Diamond League his last 4 years of his career. McLaughlin doesn't really run it. There are some stars who'll show up, but if you want to make this thing popular, you need to have the biggest names competing, getting excited about it. And I do agree, Robert. I mean, I'm looking at this. There are a number of athletes who were entered in the Hungary meet on Monday and then doubling back and also running in Monaco on Wednesday. And some of them are short sprinters, which is obviously easy to turn around. But Sydney McLaughlin, she won that race pretty easily in Hungary. Could she come back and run the flat 400 against Shawnee Miller-Weibo in Monaco 2 days later? I think that would be fantastic. And if she's ending her season. The option is one more race at one of the biggest Diamond Leagues of the year that a lot of fans can get excited about, or just end your season and go home. I know every track fan wants to see her run this race, and it's just kind of unfortunate for the fans that they don't get that opportunity.
John, if she smokes everybody in the 400 hurdles, do you care? I still think it's better if she competes, right? I mean, people are like, oh, this live tour doesn't mean anything. Meets that matter. But yeah, it would be great. I think her team should also encourage her. Go run the 400 and maybe get beat. There's nothing wrong with losing. She doesn't have to be perfect. But as a sport, we need to see her more. I don't know. Is this wrong to say? She owes the sport nothing. She just has to go compete. That's her job. The sport needs to be structured better, but to get these stars to compete, there is no regular season in the sport. You know? I mean, sure, we put emphasis on the Diamond League, but the Diamond League, it's sort of like its own little creation, right? It's not like the regular season in soccer even, or basketball, or the NFL. You can show this. What she's doing shows the biggest star in the sport, the most successful female runner right now on the planet, right? Is there any debate on that?
No, it's her for sure.
That she could compete. Well, I guess she'd have to run USAs. She can compete twice a year, and maybe then she gets some blowback from fans, and but otherwise nobody would care.
Next year, she wouldn't even have to run USAs. She could jog one round or withdraw, basically, because we've seen now with the Dalilah Muhammad and Michael Cherry exemptions, you don't even need to run USAs. She could say, I'm skipping USAs, shows up in Budapest, wins her 2 goals, and ends the season. Now, she's not going to do that, but she could if she wanted.
You don't know that she's not going to do that. They need to get rid of this bye. How many times have we rid of this bye? And I've thought about this. Well, we haven't talked about this. The World Athletics is adding a new round to the Olympics. Instead of having time qualifiers, they're going to have a Repechage round. So they're adding more races that don't mean anything. I was thinking maybe we should go to Worlds with straight finals. Or actually, I like the semifinals I like to see the semifinals in the sprints, particularly. Like I like to see them in round 1 and then later that day in the final, build a little anticipation. But I was thinking early in the year, maybe we make to make people peak at different times of the year. You know, you'd have to run it would be hard. You'd have to get your USA championships out of the way early, like March or something. And then you use the Diamond Leagues as the qualifying meets. So you say, all right, Paris Diamond League, we're going to have 3 rounds of the 1500s. This is going to be the first round of the 1500s. So when we go to Worlds, it's just semis and finals. Or if we go to, so you make people, some of these Diamond Leagues, okay, this Diamond League is going to be the 400 hurdle prelims. This Diamond League is going to be the 200 prelims. At least people then have to run those races and pay attention to those races and peak at different times of the year. Because if you're not ready to go then, too bad, you're out of the Worlds.
Yeah, this Repechage thing, this broke while I was away on vacation. This is one of the stupidest ideas for track and field I've heard in years. And in general, I think Seb Coe and Jakob Lawson at World Athletics, I think they do a good job of running things, but I don't know who got this idea in their ear or who came up with it. It's idiotic because as a sport, we need more races that matter. And this is, first of all, you're placing an undue burden on these qualifiers, like the 800 and 1500 runners who weren't going to do anything in the final anyway, now have to run an extra round. And it's just a meaningless race because you're seeing it's going to be an extra race between the worst athletes of the world championships who are just then probably going to even just get eliminated in the semifinals. Who cares about that? It's just wasting time. The World Championship schedule is already kind of bloated across 10 days. We need more races that matter, not fewer. And these are races that just don't matter. And I know it's aimed towards athletes. It's saying, oh, they fly all the way to World Championships and compete, and then they run one race and it's over. Sorry, this is professional track and field. This is how it works. Like, maybe we just change the rules and say, okay, no, you don't actually get to run any races. We get rid of the first round. You, like Robert said, sorry, you weren't good enough to qualify. You don't even get to compete. This isn't a participation meet. It's a meet to determine the best athletes in the world. So the Repechage thing, yeah, we need to can it. It's absurd.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, so basically, I think it's just for the first round, right? Instead of having time qualifiers out of the first round to get to the semis of the Olympics, they're going to put all the losers into a heat, and then they're going to let them compete for 2 or 3 time spots, right?
For the 200 through 1500 meters.
Just in the first round. It's just to get in the semis, right? It's not to get from the semis to the final.
Correct.
So, and this was presented to me as like, hey, Robert, tomorrow we're going to announce something good. I was like, man, they must not understand. I literally thought, like, I'm going to write an editorial saying we've got to get rid of all these preliminary rounds at Worlds and just have semis and finals. Now, the problem is, I do think some of these smaller countries enjoy having someone at Worlds. It's fun to see your person run once. And I was like, maybe for the Olympics to see, like, your person, before they get eliminated, they get to run twice. Maybe that would be okay for the Olympics, just so that the Olympic broadcaster can have the local person in Sri Lanka run twice. But for the World Championships, absolutely not. I hope they never bring this to Worlds.
They claim that they discussed it with athletes and it was very popular. I'm not buying it.
Well, again, everyone's talking about the athletes. What about the fans? What about us?
Yeah. Also, I want to know, all right, the 800 and 1500 runners, they're just cool with running an extra round? Like,
well, if it's that or go home, yeah, you'll run the extra round. But it's just so stupid. The 200, the shorter events, they already are time trials. So you're going to time trial once and you're going to time trial again. It's like, no, just go pick qualifiers solely if you're, you can do it time, but no, pick the top 4, whatever, top 6, that's it. None of this bullshit. We don't need to waste too much time on this. Maybe we should bring Jakob Larson, he's a podcast listener, on the show, have him talk about it, or get someone who's really an advocate about this and debate it with them, because to me, it's just a complete waste.
The only reason why I can see it is if the broadcasters are going to pay more for it. If the broadcasters said we have to have this for TV ratings, okay, I'm fine with wasting my time because I'm not going to watch it anyways. But in general, you're right. Just get the win calculator and calculate out for the 200 heats, like the time qualifiers, like, okay, this person had a 2-second wind. This one had a 1 meter second wind, whatever.
No, you don't do wind. You get in the top 5 in your heat, or you make the final, or you don't. There's not a single time qualifier in a sprint. You're already sprinting all out. Get in the top. Same thing with the distance races. Instead of having top 4 and then the Repechage round, just do the top 6. This is ridiculous.